Yes, yes, sir. So C language, you have used C language to write some program, and that program you are executing to get some result. And ultimately, what is happening? This C program, whatever program you are writing, that program is basically executed by a processor. And now in this course, what we will do, we will learn in details what the processor is, how it works, and how we can use this processor to program a processor or to use this processor to do some one like calculation or any other. So I will show you this presentation first. And this presentation I have already told you, this is given in the Gaonkar's book. You can, I will share it with you. So you can, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this book, Microprocessor Architecture, Programming and Application of with HU85 by Ramesh Gaonkar, that book will follow. And basically the presentation is written, made by this Ramesh Gaonkar. I have taken this presentation from this book. Okay. So before discussing what a microprocessor is, three terms we have to keep in mind. One is microcomputer, microprocessor, and microcomputer. What are they? Just you have to know what are the meaning, what is the meaning of what is a microcomputer, what is a microprocessor in a modern microcomputer. Microcomputer, you can see it is written. A computer with a microprocessor as a CPU includes memory and I/O. Meaning is that whatever computer you are using, present a computer or laptop, that you can say that is a microcomputer. Because what is there inside your computer? There is a CPU, means there is a processor. A processor is there. With the processor, it is having some memory device, it is having some input output device. Input output device means this display device, the output device. Input device means through which you can supply some data to the computer or data to the processor, like keyboard, etc. So that means your computer, whatever now you are using, that is a combination of a processor, memory, I/O device, and so many other things. So combining all this is called a microcomputer. And what is microprocessor? Microprocessor is basically a part of the microcomputer. Means there is a IC like your digital IC and gate or gate etc. So many ICs are available. Similarly, microprocessor is also available in the IC form. Okay. So that's why it is written as a silicon IC, which includes ALU, register, controlling circuits. Register means basically you know that register is in digital, you have already learned the register is made up of flip-flop and it is used to store some binary information. Okay. So microprocessor is basically a part of the microcomputer. It is a one part of microcomputer, that is microprocessor. Inside it, what is there? Inside the ALU is there, arithmetic logic unit. That means using this microprocessor, you can perform so many arithmetic logical operations you can do with the help of the microprocessor, and that will be done with a particular device circuits inside this microprocessor chip, that is called ALU, arithmetic and logical unit. That unit is responsible for performing any arithmetic and logical operation inside the processor. And beside that, some registers and control circuitry are there inside this microprocessor chip. Means register to store some data, and control unit means to control the operation of the microprocessor. Some signals are required. That signal will be generated by this control circuit. That I will discuss in detail. So with the help of this register, control circuit, and a microprocessor chip is basically designed. And that microprocessor chip is basically a small part of your microprocessor. And next, another thing, it is microcontroller, that is also there in your syllabus. Basically, microprocessor and microcontroller is same thing, but only difference is there between microprocessor and microcontroller. You can see that inside microcontroller is also a digital IC. It is a chip, silicon chip, but inside this microcontroller, beside whatever is there inside the microprocessor, everything is there within the microcontroller. And one additional thing is also there in microcontroller which is not in microprocessor. That is called a memory chip. And you can see it is written silicon chip which includes microprocessor, memory, I/O in a single packet. Single packet means in a single IC. Meaning is that in a microprocessor we don't have any memory chip inside. Memory chip means what is memory means? Memory chip means it includes huge number of array of register, means including so many registers in a particular device that is called memory. Memory includes so many registers because you know that register is designed with the help of many people, and similarly memory is designed with the help of so many registers, so that in a memory chip we can store huge number of binary information. Because each register we can store some data. Similarly, array of so many registers is called memory. But inside microprocessor chip, there is no memory device inbuilt inside the microprocessor chip. Similarly, inside microprocessor chip, there is no I/O input-output device inside the microprocessor. That means there is no I/O device like in keyboard, etc. That interface is not there inside microprocessor. But in microcontroller, this memory and I/O are also available inside this microcontroller chip. That is the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Both are same, but only memory and I/O is not there inside the microprocessor chip. But memory and I/O facility is there inside the microcontroller chip. That is the difference. And microcomputer means including all that is a microcomputer. And you can then say that microcontroller may be treated as a mini microcomputer. That you can say because it's what is there required in a microcomputer, everything is there inside the microcontroller chip. But definitely in microcomputer, beside this I/O memory, so many other things are also there in a microcomputer nowadays. But that's why you can say it is a small version of the microcomputer, that is microcomputer. Next, we will see that what a microprocessor is. And it is written in the book also, you will find in the Gaonkar books, if you have the book, you can see that this definition of is written that microprocessor is a combination of micro and processor. What is micro? Micro means micro basically defines its size of the microprocessor chip. Because nowadays you can see that inside it, this microprocessor may be designed with so many transistor, MOSFET, etc. Many huge lakhs or crores of transistors are there, but that is incorporated within a single IC. That's why the size of the microprocessor chip, this micro word basically defines the size of this microprocessor chip. And another is processor. You know that processor, it is meaning a device that process whatever. Whatever means whatever is you will apply to this processor will process. Process means it can perform some operation on it. But specifically, the microprocessor chip, though it is mentioned, whatever you will apply or supply to the device, processor will process it. But actually, as a microprocessor is a digital device, it can process only binary 0 and 1. Besides this, it cannot process anything. Process means, if I example, it can perform some addition, it is a process. Multiplication, it is a process. Who will perform? Microprocessor will perform. But perform on what? To perform addition or subtraction, which I am talking about process, is a process. So some data are required. But as microprocessor is a digital device, that data on which this microprocessor will process some operation like addition, multiplication, that data must be in binary. Because it is a digital device, it cannot understand besides 0 and 1. That means though I have written processor means device that process whatever means only binary information like 0 and 1. Okay. And now actually the definition what is of a microprocessor what is given in the book that I have written here. Definition of a microprocessor. Read carefully, I will only explain in details the definition of this microprocessor. Whatever is written here that I will explain in detail today only. Now I will first read it. It is written, the microprocessor is a programmable logic device that reads binary instruction from a storage device called memory, accept data from input device and perform arithmetic or logical operation on them according to the program stored in the memory and then produce other data as a result. That is the definition of a processor. So one by one I will explain. First of all, it is written microprocessor is a programmable device. It is a device, but it is programmable. What does it mean? And remember, any device is called programmable. Device means it can do something. So microprocessor is a programmable device. Any device is called programmable if its functionality can be changed by changing the program. Meaning it, suppose a device is doing some operation now. Now, if you change the program, then what? Suppose this device is performing some other operation, then this device is called programmable. Your microprocessor is a programmable device because if we change the instruction, means if we change our program, microprocessor can do some different thing. Because I have already told you, in C language you have written, you can write different program. So whenever a program 1 is executed, suppose addition is performing, who is doing that? Microprocessor. That means you have written a program of addition, and whenever you are executing it, your microprocessor reached a device that is performing addition. That means it is doing addition operation. But if you change the program for multiplication, suppose you have written another program for multiplication and you are executing it by the same processor, then what the processor is doing? Processor is now doing multiplication. That means by changing the program, you are able to change the functionality of the device. Functionality of the device means its operation can be changed. Any device whose operation can be changed by changing the instruction or program, that is called programmable device. So this microprocessor, it is a programmable device. Means its operation can be changed by changing the program. And another term it is written, this is not only programmable, but another word it is written, programmable logic device. Logic device means your microprocessor IC, a digital device. Its meaning, it can understand only binary 0 and 1. Because you know that digital circuit cannot understand besides 0 and 1. So your microprocessor is a logic device, means it is a digital device. It can understand only binary 0 and 1, and it is also programmable, means you can change the functionality of the processor by changing your program. So that is the first line. It is a programmable logic device that reads logic device. Next line it is written in the definition that it reads binary instruction from a storage device called memory. So actually it is written here, what is a programmable device, and that means it can perform different sets of operation depending on whatever I told you. And instruction, you already know instruction, whenever you are writing a program in C language, because I am always giving you the reference of C language because you know this language or you have used it. Whenever you write a program to perform any specific operation using C language, what you are doing, you are writing a program. How you are writing a program? You are writing a program using some instructions, basically, which is available for C language. That means combination, that means you are writing or performing or you are assembling some instruction to write a program. And that we can say that it is a meaningful program whenever this program is giving you a meaningful output. That means whenever this program is having a meaning is that meaning it can perform some work, then we can say that it is a program. So that means program is nothing but group of instructions which can perform a certain task. And instructions, any instruction you cannot execute for every programming technique. Similarly, suppose if we have 8085 microprocessor, this 8085 processor will understand some instructions. Similarly, later on you will see some other instruction microprocessor are also there, 8086 microprocessor. This 8086 microprocessor may not understand the instruction of 8085. It can understand some other instruction which is available to. That means every processor is having a set of instruction which this particular processor can understand and he can execute. And that is called the instruction set. Group of instruction which a particular processor can understand, that is called instruction set. And using this instruction set only we have to write a program for that particular microprocessor. If I use it, 8085 is it can understand some group of instruction. We cannot use any other instruction which processor 8085 will not understand. Then this program will not be executed by the processor. That is instruction. Anyway, next microprocessor. Again, you see the you can understand the definition. It is a programmable logic device. Then in the second line, it is written that reads binary or accept binary instruction from a storage device called memory. So go to the that reads binary instruction from a storage device called memory. What does it mean? You know that I have already told you using what is the purpose of using this processor? Processor means what you can do. This processor can do something. What the processor can do? It can perform different arithmetic and logical operations. Different operation, how the processor can do it. So already we know that using processor, we can do anything. But did you think any time that can processor perform any operation by itself? Can processor do anything by itself? Never. Processor cannot do any, remember this thing, processor cannot do anything by itself. Then what is the use of processor? A processor only can perform any task if somebody tells him to do. Because how you are that means if you tell the processor that you perform addition, then only processor can perform addition. Otherwise, by itself processor cannot do anything. Now the question is, how you can tell the processor that you perform addition? That is how you will provide it. That is, if you provide some instruction to the processor, processor can only do that. But if you cannot provide, you means user. If user will provide some instruction to the processor, processor can execute it. But by itself, processor cannot do anything if you are not supplying an instruction to the processor. It cannot do anything by itself. So now the question is how you will instruct a processor. Again, if I compare with your C language, in C language also you are executing the C program, but with whom? With what? Definitely with the help of a processor which is there in your microcomputer, which is there with your computer. But how your computer is executing the program? Program means basically group of instructions. That is that instructions you are supplying to the processor so that processor is performing a function according to your program. Processor cannot do anything beside your program. Only whatever you have written inside your program and supplied to the processor, processor can only do that thing. That means processor only do whatever instruction you will provide to the processor through your program. Processor can only do that much. Beside that, it cannot do anything. And that's why it is sometimes called, though everywhere we are using nowadays, we are using microprocessor, computer, microcontroller, everywhere we are using. But remember, processor is never called an intelligent device. It is not an intelligent device at all. Because why it is not intelligent? Because processor cannot take a decision or processor cannot do anything. Then where is the intelligence? Intelligence is there to the user who is supplying instruction or who is writing program for that microprocessor. Because whenever you are writing a program, suppose in C language you are writing a program for it to perform an integration, suppose you are writing a program for integration. Then think on that what program or what instruction in this C program, what actually you are writing. Actually you are using some instruction, and in those instructions is basically telling how integration to be performed. That actually you are defining with the help of your program. Because processor do not know at all how to perform integration. Never. Processor do not know. Because I told you processor is not an intelligent device. It do not know how to perform integration. But you know that using processor you can do integration. How? You write a program, and inside this program, what you have to do? You have to explain with the help of instruction how to perform integration. And that program you supply to the processor, means execute with the help of processor. Processor blindly follow your instruction and give you the result of integration. without knowing what the integration is. Processor do not know what actually the integration is or how to perform integration. But that means whatever you supply to the processor using your program, he can do only that. He do not know how to perform integration. But think on that whoever the programmer is writing program for integration without knowing how to perform integration, can a user or a programmer write the program for integration? Never. If you have to write a program for integration, you must have to know how to perform integration. That's why it is called intelligence is not at all there to the processor. It is there only to the programmer who is writing human being. Intelligence is there to the human being, it's programmer who is writing the program. Because programmer must have to know how to perform the task, otherwise he cannot write the program. But processor don't have to know at all how to do integration or how to do the task. Whatever program or instruction you will provide to the processor, he will blindly follow it and give you the output. So that's why it is called processor is not an intelligent device. Anyway, it is written that reads binary instruction from a storage device called memory. The definition it is written. Meaning is, but why I am telling you so many things? Because just to make it clear that processor cannot do anything by itself. Only if you provide some instruction to the processor can execute this instruction and give you some result. That is the thing. That's why in the definition, in the second line it is written, it reads binary instruction. But again, another thing also is written, it will read binary instruction from a storage device called memory. What does it mean? Meaning is, a user means a human being, cannot directly instruct the processor. That means, if I cannot give the instruction directly to the processor. No, never. You cannot instruct a processor directly. Okay. Another thing, then how processor will get the instruction? Because without getting instruction, processor cannot do anything. Processor must have some instruction to do. But another problem is that if I am using a processor to do something, but I cannot instruct the processor directly. But then how processor will get the instruction from me? That's why in between you have to, after writing your program or instruction, you have to store the instruction in a storage device called memory. That means inside the memory you have to store your program or instruction. And processor will get the instruction not from you directly, but it can get the instruction only from the memory. Remember it. If I write a program, you have written a program in C language and execute it. After writing program, what you normally do? You save it with a given file name. Save it means basically this program is stored inside the memory. Meaning is processor now whenever you want to execute this program, processor will get the instruction of your program from that memory, not from you directly. That is, it is written that processor read binary instruction from a storage device called memory. Processor will not accept any instruction directly from the user. Processor will only accept instruction or read instruction from a storage device called memory. Then what is the task of the user or programmer? It is the task of the programmer to store the program or instruction in the memory first. Means if I want to execute a particular program or instruction with the help of a processor, first I have to write the program, then I cannot directly provide this instruction to the processor. In between there is a role of a memory device and I have to store my program inside the memory chip first. And now if I want to execute this program or instruction, processor will read the instruction only from the memory. Okay. Now think, two things are there that user is have to provide some instruction via memory to the processor so that processor will execute it to perform some work. Remember, work with some function. It may be addition, subtraction or any other of this. So basic task is human user or programmer has to provide some instruction to the processor via memory, not directly. Okay. And what processor will do after getting the instruction? Processor will execute the instruction and produce some output. That is the main spread thing. Now the question is, how a human user can instruct a processor? Because see the things. You know that processor, it is a digital device. That means it understands only binary 0 and 1. And whenever I want to instruct somebody else, then what I have to do? I have to suppose two of your friends is trying to communicate with each other. Now you want to say something to your friends. How will you tell it? Definitely you will take help of some language to communicate your things to your friends. Suppose you are communicating with a language, French language to your friend, which your friend do not know. Then will it be a meaningful conversation between your two friends? No. That means whatever you are telling in French language, your friend will not understand French. That means somebody you are telling something, but your friend is not understanding things. He will not do whatever you are telling. Then how effective communication will be made between two? You have to choose such a communication language so that both of you should know this language. Otherwise, there will be no effective communication between these two friends. Same thing here. User wants to use a microprocessor to do something. See the process. User wants to use a microprocessor to do a work. How? By providing some instruction to the processor. So user will give instruction to the processor. Now the question is using which language? Such a language now we have to choose which the human being as well as the processor will understand. That means processor and human being both should understand this language. And as already we have told you in the first line, that processor is a logic device, so it cannot understand besides 0 and 1. That means user have to provide instruction only with the help of binary 0 and 1. That is called the binary language. And that's why it is written in the second line. It reads binary instruction from storage device. Why binary instruction? Binary is a language. That means I am providing the instruction with what language? Binary language, using 0 and 1. Because I know the binary language, human being will know the binary language, and processor will also know the binary. So using binary only, you have to provide your instruction. That means whatever instruction you will give to the processor, you have to do, or you have to provide the instruction using binary 0 and 1, because it is the digital device. So the meaning of, again I am reading, microprocessor is a programmable logic device that reads binary instruction from a storage device called memory. So you write your program, but in which language you have to write your program? Definitely in binary. Because you know what is memory? Memory details I will tell you. But what is memory? Memory is an array of register. What is register? It is an array of flip-flop. Means inside this flip-flop, register, etc. Inside this memory or register, what you can store? You can store only binary 0 and 1. That is, if I told you that you store an instruction in the memory, what you will store? Definitely you have to store the instruction only in binary, because memory device can store only binary 0 and 1. So you have to store the instruction in the memory in binary. Why you are storing the instruction in the memory? Because processor will not accept instruction directly from you. It can accept instruction or read instruction only from the memory device. That's why you have to store the program in the memory in binary. But now again there is a conflict that you have written your program in C language. So did you use the binary 0-1 instruction there inside it? No. Because you already know that this C language is basically called a high level language. High level language means where instructions or programs are written using English like sentence. You are using instructions you have in C language, you have written just like in English sentence. This is called high level language. But remember, whatever you have written in C language using your English sentence, your processor will never understand it. Why? Because your processor is a digital device, it will understand only binary 0 and 1. Then how your C program is executed, you know that the process of execution. After writing program, you are probably compiling this program, and during that time, you know that your entire C program which you have written there like a high level language, like English sentence is converted into binary. Your program first might be converted into binary, and that binary converted binary program will be stored in the memory, which processor will read and execute. That is the process. But you know that in binary, you can understand the difficulty in writing instructions in binary because it is very difficult to write the program in binary. That's why the concept of high level language is involved. Because this in C language you can very easily write the program. But is it possible to remember what is the binary 0101 code of so many instructions? Not possible. That's why high level language comes. And using high level language very easy so that user can write the program very easily. But remember, processor cannot execute this high level language program directly because he understands only 01. So it is your task. You must convert your entire program of high level language into binary language, which is basically called machine language. It is called machine language means which a machine can understand. 01. Machine means this processor. So that you have to convert, store into the memory. From memory, processor will read your program and it will execute. Then it is mentioned, again go to the definition, third line. After reading binary instruction from storage device, it is written, accept data from the input device. Let's assume that in memory, you have stored a instruction for addition. Addition instruction you have stored. Now what processor will do? Processor will read the instruction from the memory. Again, you may think how processor will read the instruction from memory. Of course, we will learn in details because here we have to know how processor will communicate directly with the other hardware. Hardware means memory input output device. That process will later on describe. But suppose you have stored an instruction of addition in the memory. Processor is now reading the instruction because as per definition, processor will read instruction from memory. Suppose processor is reading the instruction and whenever it will read the instruction, he can understand its meaning is addition. That means you are instructing the processor to perform addition. Processor will understand it. Because of this binary instruction, he knows this binary instruction meaning is addition. Now you know that addition operation will be performed, but on whom? You know that addition, to perform addition operation, at least two data are required. So that between these two data, addition operation will be performed. Now the question is, from where processor will get this data on which your instruction addition will be performed? That's why it is written, after getting your instruction, suppose addition will be performed on some data and that data processor will accept from an input device. Input device means it may be a keyboard. Through this keyboard you can supply the data on which this addition will be performed. But not only input device, you can store the data in the memory also. That is also possible. That means addition operation will be performed on some data. From where processor will get the data? Two options are there. Processor may get this data from memory. Since you have already stored some data in the memory, processor will take this data and perform addition. Or you may supply the data from an input device like keyboard, so that after getting your data, processor will perform or execute the instruction addition. And after performing operation, that means it is written, after getting the data, it will perform arithmetic and logical operation on them. And what it will do? After performing that operation, what you will get? You will get the result. You will get the result means you will get the output. Now the thing is that after performing addition between data it is accepting from input device or memory, it will produce a result. So what processor will do with this result? Normally what we will do? Either we want to see the result. Where? In the display device. That means either processor will send the result to this display device is called an output device. Processor will send the result to an output device, or he may store the result again in the memory. Remember, after producing a result, suppose for addition in this example, result will be sent to a processor may send it to the output device like display device, your monitor, or processor can store the result in the memory again. That is basically the definition of the processor, and definition of the processor includes what is the steps of performing any operation with the help of processor. Again, I am reading it. Microprocessor is a programmable logic device that reads binary instruction from a storage device called memory. Means with the processor, if I want to work, if I have only processor chip, suppose you have a 8085 or any processor chip, can you work with this processor chip alone? Alone means if you have the processor IC or chip, can you execute some program with this processor chip itself? No. Why not? Because to execute something, you have to write a program, and that program you cannot provide directly to the processor chip. You must have to store your program in the memory chip. And you know that I have already told you, in memory microprocessor chip, there is no memory device inside. That means what you have to do? With microprocessor chip, externally you have to connect a memory chip. So that inside this memory chip, you will be able to store your program, or you will be able to store your data. So a processor chip itself is not sufficient to work with. To work with the processor, at least we must connect a memory chip with it. While the purpose of this memory chip is to store my program or to store data. Why memory chip is essential? Reason is processor will not accept any instruction directly from the user, rather it will accept instruction from memory. So it is your task to store the program in memory. So a memory chip is required. Now not only memory chip is required with the processor, some other thing is also required with the processor. Chip. What are they? Next, because in the definition it is written, in the next line it will accept the data from input device. Then sometimes you may store your instruction in the memory, but sometimes it is required that to provide this instruction will be performed on some data. That data you may sometimes have to provide from an input device like keyboard. So an input device is not available inside the microprocessor chip. So externally you have to connect an input device like keyboard with the chip. And again, after performing the operation, whatever result is produced, that result will be stored in the memory, or processor can send the result in a display device like your monitor, which is called an output device. So that means a output device is also required at least with this processor. That's why it is a block diagram is shown that a microprocessor based system, that means from the above definition it is mentioned that what is the minimum requirement to work with a microprocessor chip. So if we have a microprocessor chip, we cannot work with it. At least we should connect a memory chip so that we can store our program or data inside it. We need at least an input device and an output device, so that from input device we can supply some data to the processor, and the output device so that processor can display the result to this output device. So if we have only these three things, at least these three, input, output and memory chip with the microprocessor system, the microprocessor chip. So that system is called a microprocessor based system, so that we can work with it. Otherwise, only with the help of microprocessor chip we cannot do, because inside microprocessor no memory device, no input output device is available, and as per the definition these things are required. So we must have to connect the input, output and memory chip externally with the microprocessor chip so that we can work with it. So now, and
আচ্ছা স্যার, হ্যালো
বলো।
স্যার এই গ্রাফটাতে স্যার ইনপুট থেকে অ্যারো কে মেমোরিতে যাওয়া উচিত ছিল না, মানে ইনপুট থেকে আমরা যে ইনস্ট্রাকশন মেমোরিতে যাবে।
It is not instruction. Input through input device you are not providing instruction. You are providing data. Because instruction will always be taken by the processor from the memory device. Input device will not give you the data or store the data into the memory. From input device, it will go to the processor. And it is the processor who will decide whether you want to store it in the memory. Later on, you will see that if I want to supply some data, can you not store it in the memory? Because from input device, arrow is given. You are telling that from input device, arrow is given to the processor. Why not to the memory? Because input device, directly from input device, you cannot store anything in the memory. Because why not? Later on, I will explain that in memory means what are there? So many registers are there. Okay. Suppose you know that later on you will see that length of each register is suppose 8 bit. What is the meaning? That inside each register we can store a 8 bit data. Okay. Similarly, so many registers are there in the memory chip. So suppose from this input device you are typing or providing a 8 bit data and you want to store it in the memory chip. So how many registers are required to store your data? One, definitely because your length of each register is 8 bit and you have given a 8 bit data from the input. So next question is, if I directly provide this arrow from input device to memory, then whenever I supply a 8 bit data, is it possible to store it in the memory? You may tell that yes, it is possible. But if I ask you, whenever I supply data from the input, 8 bit data from the input device, that data will be stored in which register? Because your memory contains thousands of or lakhs of registers. So in which register your data will be stored? Because your data needs only one register to store. In which register? So that you cannot say. Because that will be controlled by the processor. Processor will decide that where this data will be stored. How processor will decide? Definitely depending on your instruction. So that's why data will be supplied to the processor as per your instruction. Processor may take this data and send it to a particular register of the memory chip. That processor can do. Because in the process, but instruction input data you can supply to the processor. But processor, any instruction if you want to give to the processor, so that data instructions will go to the processor only from the memory. Okay. And another few informations you already probably know this information bit, a particular binary digit is called bit, and it is written you can see. And the microprocessor that recognize a group of bits together is called a what? What means? What is the meaning? Meaning that depends every microprocessor, a particular microprocessor that recognize a group of bits together means how many bits of binary bits of information a processor can process at a time. That is called what? This 8085 processor, you can see later on that it can process 8-bit binary data at a time. So this is a word. Length of a 8085 processor is 8-bit. Later on, the other microprocessor 8086, that is an advanced processor than 8085. There you can see that this 8086 processor can process 16-bit data at a time. That means the word length for 8086 processor is 16 bit. Process means, suppose I am performing an addition with 8085 processor. And suppose I am telling you 8085 can process 8-bit data together. What does it mean? That 8085 can perform addition only between two 8-bit binary data, not more than that. But in case of 8086, which can perform, whose word length is 16-bit, means it can perform operation with 16-bit data together. So if I want to perform addition using 8086 processor, it can perform addition between two 16-bit data. Okay, that is the word length. Word length means together how many bit a processor can process. Word length may vary depending on from processor to processor. And that's why in the third line it is written, the number of bits microprocessor's word is a measure of its ability. Ability means that I have just told you 8085. What is the word length? 8 bit. It can process 8-bit data together. But 8086 processor, what is the word length? 16-bit. So as long as the word length get increased, that means definitely its ability will be more. Ability will be more means at a time it can process so many data. That means its ability of the processor is high. And if the word length of a processor is less, that means its ability is less. And byte, a group of 8 bit is called byte, and a group of 4 bit is called nibble. That it is written here. That information only you have to know because later on we use it. This information. And arithmetic logical operation. As I told you, every processor can do arithmetic logical operation. Arithmetic means like addition, subtraction. In some processor, multiplication, division, square root, etc. And logical operation means whatever the logical operator you have learned in digital and or XOR, shift right, shift left, etc. Another two. This logical operation
হ্যালো
can.
স্যার,
Uh,
বলছি স্যার 8086 প্রসেসরের ওটা একটু আরেকবার বলবেন স্যার?
no, 8086 that if you see the word length of 8086 processor is 16 bit. Means it can process 16 bit of data together. Meaning is if I want to perform addition between two 16-bit data, means I have one 16-bit data, another 16-bit data. This two 16-bit data I want to add. I cannot do it with 8085 processor. Why? Because 8085 processor word length is only 8-bit. It can add only two 8-bit data at a time. But in case of 8086, whose ability is more, means word length is more, 16-bit, we can perform addition of two 16-bit data at a time using 8085 processor. That is the 8086 processor's ability, that it can perform, or word length is 16-bit, means it can perform operation on two 16-bit data together.
স্যার ওয়ার্ড লেন্থ বেশি হলো কি করে 8086 স্যার?
That depends on processor. Nowadays, whatever processor you are using in your computer, that can process 64-bit data at a time. You know that if you purchase a processor, you can understand how many bit processor it is, 64-bit, 32-bit, etc. It is written. So that depends on processors. Actually, processor internal circuitry is advanced new technologies used to design this processor IC. That's why it can process 16-bit. Nowadays, whatever processor is there inside your computer or laptop, that is 64-bit. Means it can process 64-bit data at a time. Earlier it was 32-bit. So that depends on processor to processor. Because so many processors are available. So we are now only concentrating 8085, which is an 8-bit processor. I have not told you that word. So depending on how many bit data a processor can process at a time, a specification is given to a processor, whether it is a 8-bit processor, 16-bit processor, or 32-bit processor, or 64-bit. 8-bit processor means it can perform operation on 8-bit data at a time. 16-bit processor means it can perform operation on 16-bit data together. 64-bit processor means it can process data on 64-bit data together. That is the processor. Different advanced processors are available. Okay.
Sir, it's mean like 8085 is just a model number.
Yes, 8085 is a number, just like your different gate IC, it is a number. Okay.
Oh, acha.
It is a number of the IC, nothing else. Okay.
এক্সকিউজ মি স্যার
8086
স্যার বলছি আপনি ডেটাটা কোথা থেকে নেবেন স্যার, মানে এই যে 16-বিট ডেটা বা 8-বিট ডেটা যেগুলো, এটাকে প্রসেসর কোথা থেকে নেবে স্যার?
কিবোর্ড
মানে ইনপুট ডিভাইস থেকে নেবে নাকি মেমরি থেকে নেবে?
ওকে, প্রসেসর
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
মেমরি থেকেও নিতে পারে, ইনপুট ডিভাইস থেকেও নিতে পারে।
আর স্যার ওই যে ইনপুট ডিভাইসটা থেকে যদি নিচ্ছে তাহলে এটা স্টোর যে যদি কোনো মানে মেমরিতে থাকছে সেটা তো হ্যাঁ স্যার, তাহলে মেমরিতে তো মানে রেজিস্টারের মধ্যে স্টোর থাকবেন তো স্যার এটা?
অবশ্যই
স্যার, তো আমরা যেরকম পড়েছিলাম যে একটা রেজিস্টারে 1 বাইটই মেমরি স্টোর করা যেতে পারে, তাহলে এটা একসাথে 8টা বাইট
দুটো রেজিস্টার it will use. Two register it will use to store 16-bit data.
তাহলে স্যার একটা রেজিস্টারে 8টা বাইট নিচ্ছে?
No. It will use two register to store 16-bit data, because if you have 16-bit data, if your register length is 8-bit, so definitely two register is required to store your 16-bit data. Upper 8-bit, lower 8 bit. I will explain it later. But inside processor, some 16-bit registers are also there. 16-bit registers are also available. Okay. But in memory, it will always 8-bit, and in 8-bit data are stored. So if you want to store 16-bit data, two consecutive memory registers are required. Where upper higher order 8-bit and lower order 8-bit will be stored in two registers. বলো
স্যার রেজিস্টার গুলো কি ফ্লিপ ফ্লপ দিয়ে বানানো তো স্যার?
অবশ্যই অবশ্যই
স্যার তাহলে কি আমরা টোটাল 16টা ফ্লিপ ফ্লপ নিব যদি 16 বিট ডেটা নিতে লাগে?
16-bit অবশ্যই 16 flip flop.
ওটা কি স্যার একসাথে নেওয়া হবে, মানে একবারই 16 বিট নিয়ে নেবে?
No, not 16. Memory, the 8-bit register, if it is 8-bit register, two registers are required in one register, 8 flip flop, in another register, 8 flip flop.
স্যার ওই যে আটটা ফ্লিপ ফ্লপ যেটা বলছেন আপনি, তো সেই আটটা ফ্লিপ ফ্লপটা কি একটা কোনো মানে বাইন্ড আপ হয়ে থাকবে নাকি একসাথে?
Of course, register. You have designed the register in digital class. They are connected. An array of register is called flip flop. A array of flip flop is called register. That is connected, definitely connected. Huh?
ওকে স্যার।
And memory, you know that memory, basically, as I told you, memory is basically the array of register where you can store some data. And how many data, how many bit of data you can store inside a memory, that defines the size of the memory. Because you know the memory chip size, you can understand 4 GB, 2 GB, etc. memory card you are using. Nowadays you are using everywhere in your mobile device or the pen drive you are using. There you can understand. In memory chip is basically specified with a size 4 GB. What does it mean? 1 KB. What does it mean? Suppose it is a suppose 1 KB memory chip. What is the meaning of this 1 KB? Because that actually tells you that the size of the memory chip. That tells you how many bit binary information you can store inside the memory chip. Okay. So if I tell you 1K, 1K means basically to the power 10. Here it is not written correctly. 210, so it is to the power 10. Okay. To the power 10 is its value is 1024. That is basically called 1K. 1K means to the power 10. And basically it is not size. In the size, two information is given. 4 GB. So can you say how many bit binary or 1 KB? How many bit binary information we can store? That means how many registers are there inside this memory chip? 1 KB memory chip. How many registers are there? Basically, this KB is basic.
Sir, 1024.
1024 number of registers are there. Of course, this because this KB, two variables we are like this later we are using KB. That basically the unit of the size of memory chip. How size of the memory chip is defined. K means kilo, means to the power 10. So that K represents how many number of registers are there. So K means to the 1K means to the power 10 means 1024. That means inside this 1 KB memory chip, 2 to the power 10 means 1024 number of registers are there. But another letter is there after in the memory size 1 KB. What does this B means? K means to 1024 to the power 10. 1024 registers are there. That is the meaning of 1K. And what is B? B, 1 KB, GB. What is B? B is basically represents the length of each register. It represents the length of each register. K represents KG, etc. represents how many registers are there inside the memory chip. But B represents what are the length of each register. B means byte. Byte means 8 bit. So 1 KB means 1 to the power 10 number of registers are there, and length of each register is B. B means 8 bit. That is how many bit binary information you can store in 1 KB? 1024 into 8. Why 8? Because 1024 number of registers are there, and length of each register is 8 bit. In each register you can store 8 bit. So total binary bit you can store inside 1K memory chip, KB memory chip is 1024 multiplied by 8. That is the meaning of unit of memory chip, 4 GB, 4 MB. So what is this? 4 M means how many number of registers are there, and D represents what are the length of each register. Okay. This is how the size of the memory is represented. So later on, actually, we have to work with the memory chip directly. We have to know how every register inside this particular memory chip is accessed by the processor. That mechanism we will learn in detail later on. Gradually, we will learn because this is not like your high level language C, how you are writing program in C. That is not like that. Why not like that? Because in C, whenever you are writing some program in C language and you are executing it, you are getting some result. But if I ask you where your program C program is stored, you may say it is memory. In which register in the memory your program is stored? Can you say? You do not say. You have stored your program C program in the memory. But if I ask you in which register of the, that means it may take few registers to store your program. If I ask you which 4 or 5 registers is used to store your program, you cannot say. Why you cannot say? Because that is the ability of the high level language where you are using high level language so that you don't have to know or bother where actually in actual hardware where your program is stored, how hardware is interacting, that you don't have to know in high level language. But you will get the result. Because if somewhere it is stored in the memory, in which part of the memory your program is stored, you cannot say in high level language. Because you should not bother about it, because you are using a high level language. That is the utility of high level. But here, whenever we are working with this 885 microprocessor working with, we will execute some program. We will write the program in binary. That means we have to interact with the hardware, memory, etc. directly. How processor is interacting with the memory, we have to know. Where your program is stored in the memory chip, which 4 register I have used to store my program, everything we will know. And later on we will gradually see, we will tell you how a processor can access a memory, how we can know where my program is stored, everything. Okay.
স্যার বলছি
This
ওয়ার্ড
thing,
এক্সকিউজ মি স্যার বলছি আপনি ওয়ার্ড কাকে ডিফাইন করেছিলেন
which one?
স্যার ওয়ার্ড আপনি বললেন না ওয়ার্ড একটা
Word.
হ্যাঁ স্যার
Word.
ওয়ার্ডটা মানে কি
Word
স্যার
is word is a group of binary bits that a particular processor can process together. Yes. As I told you, 8085 processor can process 8-bit data together. What is the meaning? That means the word length for 8085 processor is 8-bit. But if processor varies, suppose 8086, the advanced processor, 8086 can process 16-bit data together. That means word length for 8086 processor is 16. So word is variable. Its word length is variable. That's why it is mentioned word. Word means a group of binary bits a particular processor can process together. That is word. Okay.
স্যার মানে ওটা
So what length?
16 বিট হতে পারে বা 8 বিটও হতে পারে অ্যাকর্ডিং টু
That
প্রসেসর
depends on the processor. That's according to processor, right?
ওকে স্যার
So nowadays, because I told you whatever processor you are using in your laptop or computer, it is 64-bit processor. That means word length is 64. Okay. So this is what a definition of the microprocessor or how microprocessor actually works. That to work with the processor, we must have an input, output, and device and a memory chip who should connect with the processor chip. Because inside the microprocessor chip, this 3 device is not there. And to work with the processor, next to execute a program, that key thing is always required. We have to store our program in the memory. Memory chip is required. If I want to provide some data, we need an input device. And if we want to see the result, we must need an output device like display devices. So this three thing must have to connect with the processor chip so that we can work with it. So make it clear the definition of the processor. You should make it clear the definition of the processor because that is the basic thing through which we will progress gradually. Because this, whatever we have described in the definition, everything we will know in details later on. How we can, because it is mentioned, it is a digital programmable device that reads binaries write binary instruction from a memory. So how we can store instruction in the memory? Means you have to store the program in the memory first. So how a user can store program in the memory, that we have to know.
Hey,
Processor will read the binary instruction from the memory. How processor can read the instruction from the memory? Because everywhere there is a question. What is the mechanism in between? Processor will. Someone is actually speaker is on. Okay, so process. So please mute your microphone, everybody, please.
Akash, mute your microphone.
Okay. So because we have to store the program in the memories because processor will read instruction from memory. Question is how processor will read the instruction from memory. That you have to know. Which you don't have to know if you use high level language like C. You don't have to know at all what is the mechanism that processor is reading instruction from the register of the memory chip. Do you actually bother about this whenever you use this C language? No. Because this is the utility of high level language. But here you have to know clearly that whenever processor is reading instruction from memory, how it is reading the instruction from memory. What is the mechanism behind it? So that we will discuss. Then again, whenever you provide some data from the input device, how processor is accessing data from the input device and how processor is again store the result in the memory or send it to the display device. Everything you have to know in details.
হ্যালো
Yes.
স্যার যদি ইনপুট ডেটাটা 8 বিটের থেকে ছোট হয় যদি 8 বিট প্রসেসরের ক্ষেত্রে তাহলে স্যার সেটা কি প্রথমে 8 বিটে কনভার্ট করে তারপর
No. It will treat the other bit as it will be converted the other bit as zero. That you have to do. You have to convert it. Okay. You have to means because again I am telling you. Again I tell you already whatever I told you earlier. Again make it clear. Processor is not at all an intelligent device. Make it clear. Intelligence is there to the human being or programmer who is writing the code. Intelligence is there with you. It is not with the processor. Why I am telling you? As you are telling, the processor can process 8-bit data, 8085. Okay. Suppose I am having a 4-bit data. I am giving a 4-bit data as input. Then what processor will do? Processor cannot do anything because it is not at all intelligence. So then what you have to do? You have to write your program accordingly. How? That whenever a 4-bit data is coming, then other 4-bit must be converted or assumed as 0. Okay. So it is a 4-bit. So that 4-bit will be kept in either lower 4-bit or upper 4-bit plus, and the remaining 4-bit it must be assumed as 0. Processor cannot assume it because it is not intelligent device. Then how it will be assumed as 0? You have to write your program accordingly because you know that it may possible that sometimes the input data may come as 4-bit, not 8-bit. Then whenever 4-bit data is coming, the remaining 4-bit you have to assume at 0. Then it will go to the processor for processing. So you have to change your program or instruction accordingly. Okay. Set clear. Processor.
Input one.
It is another. Somebody is saying that if processor, if we provide a 16-bit data, definitely I will explain it later in details. But again, I'm telling you, if it is a 8085 processor, which is a 8-bit processor, meaning is it can process any operation on 8-bit data only, not more than that. And now you are asking that if I want to perform any operation on 16-bit data, then how processor will do? Can 8085 processor do it? It may appear that as 8088-bit processor, it cannot do operation on 16-bit, but not like that. If you have to operate any operation on 16-bit data using a 8-bit processor, 8085 processor will not perform operation on 16-bit data in a single step. In 2 steps it will do. First, suppose you want to perform addition of 2 16-bit data. Is it possible for 8085 processor? Never. Then how will you get the result? You can write your program such that first lower order 8-bit you will add, then higher order 8-bit you will add. That means you have to perform addition how many times? Twice. So a 8-bit processor can perform operation on 16-bit data, but not in a single step, in two steps. So if you have to, suppose for example, if I have to add two 16-bit data, 8085 processor cannot do addition of two 16-bit data in a single step. He has to perform addition how many times? Twice. First lower order 8-bit, then higher order 8-bit, and then combine. Clear? It cannot perform operation on more than 8-bit. If I want to do more big data operation, you do it separately in multiple number of steps.
স্যার কোয়েশ্চেন আছে স্যার, এই রোহন যেরকম বললো যে আমাদের কাছ থেকে ইনপুটটা নেবে, তো স্যার নেবে তো হচ্ছে কিবোর্ড বা হচ্ছে যা কোনো একটা মানে ইনপুট ডিভাইস থেকে। তো স্যার বলছি যখন আমাদের ওখান থেকে যখন ইনপুটটা নিচ্ছে, তো আমি তো 16 বিট ডেটা দিতে পারছি না, কেন কি আমার ইনপুটে যদি 1 2 4 এরকম কিছু একটা লেখা থাকলো, মানে যেরকম সি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে পড়েছি, তো ওই কি তোর একটা কোনো অ্যাসকি কোড বা কিছু একটা থাকবে, যেটা ডিজিটালেও পড়েছি। তো স্যার ও কি করে ভাববে যে নেওয়া যে কোডটা সেটা 4 বিট বা 8 বিট বা 16 বিট, ওরকম করে কি করে চেঞ্জ করবে?
Processor?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
No. Processor, whatever input you will give, because that is written in the program only. So, because again I told you, remember I told you, processor recognize it is a that you are performing a 6 operation on 16-bit or 8-bit? No. It is written inside your program. You have written your instruction accordingly. Suppose you want to perform an operation on 16-bit data. That means you have written the program side that first addition on 8-bit, then addition on next 8-bit. Two instructions you have written. That means whenever you want to perform addition of first 8-bit, so you supply 8-bit data. Then when second instruction will come, you apply the second 8-bit data. That is the process. Processor will not
স্যার
recognize it.
আমার কোশ্চেনটা হলো স্যার, আমি 8 বিট ডেটা সাপ্লাই কি করে করব স্যার? আমার কাছে তো ওরকম কোনো সিস্টেম নেই।
8-bit data. No, that is there. Why not supply? Oh, you are talking about this whatever keyboard I am using with my processor. No, that keyboard definitely we will not use here. Because wherever we will use the 8085 processor, so different keyboard is there. Because with the 8085, that keyboard we cannot use. Normal keyboard. If we want to use this keyboard, then in between I have to use another interpreter like device or software I have to use. Otherwise it cannot do. So we have a different type of keyboard. If we are actually this is in the lab, you can see that what type of keyboard we are using. We cannot use all this keyboard whatever you are using with our processor. It is 64-bit processor or 32-bit. We cannot use it. Okay. We have it.
হ্যাঁ স্যার, বলছে আমরা যদি 8085 যে প্রসেসরটা আছে, তো তার সাথে যদি আমরা ইনপুট আউটপুট ডিভাইস আর মেমোরি সেটা যদি অ্যাড করে দিই, তাহলে কি সেটাই মাইক্রো কন্ট্রোলার হয়ে যাবে?
That is a microcontroller. Actually, that is like a microcontroller because in microcontroller, this input, output, and memory are there inside the chip itself. Inside microcontroller chip, it is there. But in processor, these are you have to connect externally. That is the difference. So if I connect,
যদি আমরা এক্সটারনালি করি তাহলে সেটা মাইক্রো কন্ট্রোলার হবে না। যদি এটা
that is like a micro. That try to understand what is the difference. Why people use something? Then you have to think. So to perform any work, whether we use a microprocessor or a microcontroller, that is actually then. Suppose I want to do something, whether I use a microprocessor or microcontroller. The thing is that if I use a microcontroller, then I don't have to connect memory chip, etc. IO input output device. No other device I have to connect with the chip. I can directly program the microcontroller chip and I can get out. But if I use a microprocessor, I cannot use the microprocessor chip individually. With it, I have to connect a IO device, memory chip, etc. And you can see for a specific application. Specific application means suppose I am using my processor. I want to use my processor to perform only a particular task, a single task. So always it will perform only integration, no other thing. A specific task Suppose I want to use a processor only for a specific task. In that case, people are normally use the microcontroller because we program in such a because inside it memory is there, IOD device is there, and this microcontroller will be processor will be used only for a specific purpose. So we don't have any variation of work that we have to do with the processor. Then I should use a microcontroller so that I don't have to connect any IO device, memory, etc. So I will directly program that a microcontroller and I will use it to do this operation repetitively. Because in your every automated device nowadays, whatever you are using, household device like fridge, washing machine, everything you are using, of course inside it there is a processor. And normally people inside those devices they are not using microprocessor, they are using microcontroller. Because why microcontroller? Because these appliances, whatever where this processor is used, they are doing a specific task. It is for washing machine, a specific task is there, and this task will be performed repetitively. So their microcontroller is enough to do work with. But whenever for development purpose, whenever people are using that, so that different work process you want to execute with it. Sometimes input may vary, memory chip, sometimes you want to increase everything. That is not possible in microcontroller because microcontroller a specific size memory chip is there. Suppose I want to store more data, that is not possible. Then microprocessor you have to use so that external memory chip as per your choice you can connect. That is the thing. But with microprocessor, input, output, and memory chip, if you connect externally, that will looks like a microcontroller. Definitely that is. But difference is that this is outside the microprocessor chip, and all these three devices are there inside the microcontroller. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
স্যার
Uh,
স্যার বলছি স্যার একটা 16 বিট মানে 16 বিট ডাটা প্রসেস করতে 8 বিট মানে মাইক্রো প্রসেসরের যা টাইম লাগবে
double time lag. Double time lag.
তার মানে 8086 মানে বেশি এফিসিয়েন্সি
That is actually called. That is actually I told you. You see the last line. The number of bits a microprocessor word is a measure of its ability. That means if the word length is high, its ability is high. 8086, 16-bit word length, its ability is high. That you are talking about. It is speed is ability means definitely ability will be measured with some parameters, speed, efficiency, etc. So definitely it is high performance. 8086. Actually, whatever you are talking, another issue you have is I told you that whether using a 8-bit processor, if I want to perform 16-bit operation, will it take more time? Definitely, it will take double time. Actually, in our syllabus is there. Later on, I will discuss. We will calculate this time also. Suppose I want to perform an addition, how much time actually my processor is taking? That time also we will learn to calculate. We will definitely calculate the time later on. That if it performs addition on two 8-bit data, how much time it is taking? If it performs addition on two 16-bit data, how much time it is taking? Actual time calculation definitely will learn later on. The time calculation is not a arbitrary time. Actual time we will calculate. Okay. Okay. Any other question? So please, do you have this book with you?
Yes, sir.
Now, Prabhakara's book, okay, so you go through it, and this presentation, entire presentation of this Prabhakar book, I will share it today or tomorrow. I will share it in the classroom. So you go through it, and remember, any doubt you have, you put in your questions in the this microprocessor, microcontroller classroom, or you can mail me this to this mail ID. You can mail it. Okay.
স্যার আমার কোয়েশ্চেনটা স্যার ওই ইনপুট ডিভাইসটা নিয়ে আছে স্যার আমি ওই 8 বিটটা কি করে দেবো ওখানে 8 বিট বা 16 বিট অপারেশনস গুলো ওখানে কি করে পাঠাবো মানে আমার কাছ থেকে যদি দুটো অ্যাডিশনের জন্য রেজাল্ট চায় মানে যদি দুটো ইনপুট দেওয়ার থাকে 3 আর 2 মানে 5 নেওয়ার জন্য তো স্যার আমি 3 আর 2টা কি করে দেবো
Now, three not so that you have to give in binary, not in 3 and 2. You are talking about decimal number, etc.
স্যার এরকম কোনো
We
ডিভাইস
have to
আছে নাকি যে বাইনারিতে ইনপুট দেওয়া যায়
No, you have to you have to convert this that actually whenever you are suppose that one I will tell you actually. Suppose you are in your computer also suppose So you are typing something from the keyboard and that is displayed in the monitor. How it is possible? Do you think ever that how it is possible that you are typing something, you are pressing some keys in the keyboard and it is displayed in the monitor? How it is possible? Who is doing that work? Who is doing that? You are typing in a keyboard and that is going to the display device.
স্যার ওই
Definitely.
ASCII key কনভার্সন
হ্যাঁ
হচ্ছে
হ্যাঁ বলো
স্যার ওই ASCII keys গুলোর কনভার্সন হচ্ছে
হচ্ছে তারপরে
তারপরে ওটা মানে 0 আর 1 এ
who
গিয়ে
is
স্টোর
doing that?
হচ্ছে
Exactly. Who is doing that?
মানে এই ইন্টেলের যে প্রসেসরটা আছে
Not processor is doing it. Processor, again I told you, you are telling something right. But remember, processor cannot do anything. I told you, it cannot do anything by itself. You are typing A, and you are telling some ASCII code is transferred. But whenever it is displayed in the processor, display device, it is again in A. How it is possible? You are telling it is converted into binary, etc. Who is converting processor? No. Of course, processor is doing. But thing is that processor cannot itself convert anything. Because I told you processor cannot do anything by itself. Then who is doing? Of course, a program, inbuilt program is running there. A program already pre-written. Somebody has written, who has developed this system. He has already written a program of converting this ASCII to binary or something. That program is always running in the background. That's why whenever you are typing something, that program is executing means processor is getting some instruction from your program how to represent whatever you are typing in the keyboard, how to represent. So that program here also, whenever a keyboard will be connected or an input device will be connected with the processor, a program, inbuilt program, you must have to write a program so that this will be converted into binary information. So a program is running. That's why processor is displaying your whatever you are pressing in the keyboard, it is displaying the output device. Okay. So
স্যার ইনপুট ডিভাইসটা কি ডাইরেক্ট মাইক্রোপ্রসেসরের সাথে মানে কানেক্টেড থাকে নাকি মাঝখানে কোনো ইন্টারপ্রেটার থাকে যেটা ইনপুট ডিভাইসের
that maybe that is software. That is a software target. But a software
ওকে
otherwise you cannot processor cannot understand. You are typing something, how processor will recognize you? Definitely a program is running in between. Because processor again make it clear, everybody please make it clear that processor, what processor can do? Processor not only whatever you tell, processor only do it. You tell means whatever you are instructing using the instruction or program, processor blindly follow it. He cannot do anything. If it is a wrong thing, he will do the wrong only. Again I am telling you, suppose you are doing a integration in pen and paper. Remember, you means human being. Intelligence is there with you. During performing integration in some step, you can apply your intelligence if somewhere error or some mistake you are doing something, you can recognize it. Processor cannot. If you tell processor first perform add, then sub, then this, processor blindly follow it. And if it is a wrong process, no matter, processor cannot correct it by itself. Remember it. Whatever has to do, you have to do by writing suitable instruction. Your processor will blindly follow the instruction, whatever you are supplying. It cannot take any decision in between. Only blindly follow it. Okay.
স্যার এই যে ইনস্ট্রাকশন গুলো মেমোরি থেকে নিচ্ছে তো স্যার এই মেমোরিটার সাইজ কত হবে
I will definitely explain. Size also depends on the process.
স্যার
Depends on
এরকম
the
হতে পারে
processor.
যে মেমোরিটা আউট অফ স্টক হয়ে গেল মানে শেষ হয়ে গেল পুরো
হতে পারে হতে পারে that depends on the processor. Okay.
ওই টাইমটাতে কি
What
হবে স্যার
will be the size of the memory chip? That varies from processor to processor. Okay. So that again I will tell you how to calculate the maximum size. That I will explain in the next class. Probably we will explain. Okay.
স্যার যদি ওটা শেষ হয়ে যায় তাহলে মাইক্রো প্রসেসর কি আমাদেরকে মানে ডিসপ্লে করবে কিছু নাকি ও কি উল্টা পাল্টা কিছু কাজ করে দেবে
If you have not, because I told you this is a system of executing a program this is the interaction of human being directly with the hardware. That means you as a human being, you are a programmer. Whenever you want to execute a program with this processor 8085, you will directly interact with this three hardware. Three hardware means this memory, processor, input, output. With this device, you will directly interact, not like high level language that you are just executing the writing program and you don't know where the hardware is, where it is stored. That is not like that. So if later you will find if you don't have memory, you will not be able to store your program at all actually. That you will see it. You can directly, it will be visible to you that whether memory is available or not. That you will understand whenever you store your program, etc. Not like your high level language that where is the memory chip, where it is stored, you will not have any information of that. But because it is not required in high level. But here it is required. Okay.
স্যার স্যার মাইক্রোপ্রসেসরেও রেজিস্টার থাকে তো?
Of course, some limited number of registers are there.
আচ্ছা স্যার,
Because one thing I have told you, microprocessor inside microprocessor chip there is no memory device. That's why your question is coming. That no memory device means inside the processor you cannot store anything, any data. But not a big memory chip is there inside the processor, but some internal registers are limited number of registers are there. Okay. And
Sir,
what
যদি- স্যার, যদি আমি মানে প্রোগ্রাম করে থাকি যে মাল্টিপল ইনপুট ডিভাইস থেকে ইনপুট নেবো, সেটা কি করা যাবে?
হ্যাঁ কেন করাবো?
মানে প্রোগ্রাম করা থাকলে করা যাবে, তাই তো?
অবশ্যই
ঠিক আছে।
ওগুলো ডিটেইলস আমরা ওগুলো পড়বো কিন্তু লার্ন ইন ডিটেইলস দোজ থিংস whether multiple input multiple output device everything we will learn in details. Okay.
স্যার মাল্টিপল ইনপুট আর মাল্টিপল আউটপুটের ক্ষেত্রে কি টাইমের কোনো মাইক্রোপ্রসেসর মানে টাইমের কোনো পার্থক্য হবে প্রসেস করা?
No, that processors input output as well microprocessor and time is not related. How processor time হচ্ছে যে how what time processor will take to execute a particular instruction, that is processor time. So input in between, suppose you are taking suppose you are a human being, you are typing some data from the keyboard and you are taking 3 seconds of time to supply data. Is it means that your processor is slow? No. It is you are slow. That's why you are not providing some data in time to the processor. So that depending on what time input device is taking to supply data to the processor, speed of the processor do not depends on that. Speed of the processor depends on how much time it takes to execute a instruction inside it. How much time it is taking. Remember, if you take, suppose it is asking some data and you are supplying data after 3 seconds or 4 seconds. So it will not be considered that your processor is slow. It is your responsibility that you are slow. That's why you are thinking processor is slow. Not like that. Okay.
স্যার স্যার মডার্ন কম্পিউটারে যেমন স্যার পালস লাগে, ক্লক পালস, এই মাইক্রোপ্রসেসরে কি ক্লক পালস
লাগবে ক্লক পালস লাগবে এটা লাগবে না বলো
লাগবে স্যার।
because inside it is a digital device and inside this microprocessor as already told that some registers are there, register sequential circuit, it is a clock is mandatory. So to definitely clock is required. So we'll explain every processor will details explain in the next class what is the clock, what is its frequency, everything you have to know. It is not I am telling you, it is not like your high level language. You have to know the hardware actually here. What is the clock frequency?
স্যার বলছি যে একটা কিছু ইনস্ট্রাকশন লিখলাম কিন্তু মাঝের মধ্যে ধরলো যে ইনস্ট্রাকশনটা খুঁজে পেলো না, ঠিক আছে, মানে একটা জিনিস চাইলো কিন্তু আমি সেটা দিতে পারলাম না, যেরকম দুটো অ্যাডিশন হচ্ছে, এবার ওর মাঝের মধ্যে ও মানে দুটো নাম্বার চাইলো, আমি একটা নাম্বার দিলাম আর আরেকটা নাম্বার দিতে পারলাম না, ওই টাইমে আমার কারেন্ট চলে গেল, তো স্যার প্রসেসরটা কি করবে ওই টাইমে, মানে ধরে থাকবে একটা নাম্বার নাকি ওই নাম্বারটাকে ডিলিট করে দেবে?
No, that depends on your system. That depends on your system. If it is remember that is if it is processor you are executing something, if you have a power failure, so that means what you have designed to work with the microprocessor, you have designed this microprocessor best system, input memory output microprocessor chip. So definitely that requires a power supply. So if the power supply is you don't have a power failure, definitely the entire system will collapse. You will not get the, but again you have to start from the beginning. It will not remember it. Okay, that's why in every system, whenever you will see the lab, That what actually done, if a small power backup is given in every microprocessor based system, a small power backup is given so that it can remember. Whatever is there in the memory that can be stored. Up to what you have stored, that will be stored. But if you don't have any power backup, it will be deleted. Okay.
স্যার আর যদি বলছি যে
স্যার
আমি এরকম
বলছি
একটা ইনস্ট্রাকশন নিলাম যে আমার
মাইক্রোপ্রসেসরের
মাইক্রো প্রসেসরটা হ্যাং করে গেল, ওরকম স্থিতিতে মাইক্রো প্রসেসরটা কি করবে? আগে ইনস্ট্রাকশন গুলো কাজ করাবে নাকি মানে?
No, it will not work. Your instruction is there in the memory. If microprocessor start malfunctioning, you have to restart it or anything. But no, this does not hamper or delete your program because program is there in a separate memory chip. That will be as it is. But if processor in some time it start malfunctioning, so you restart it again from beginning. You execute.
স্যার মাইক্রোপ্রসেসরের ভিতরে কি শুধু রেজিস্টার থাকে?
No, registers, arithmetic logic unit, and some control circuitry there because it can perform so many operations that will be controlled by some digital circuit. That circuit is also there.
স্যার যদি প্রোগ্রামটা আমি যখন রান করছি তখন যদি সেভ না করি তাহলে তো সেটা মেমোরিতে যাচ্ছে না, তাহলে তো সেটা ডিলিট হয়ে গেল।
No. Run. Think about your high level language. You cannot execute a program without saving it. You have to save it in the memory. You have to store a program in the memory first, and your processor will take the instruction only from the memory. So it is saved in the memory. Processor is reading the instruction in between. If there is any malfunction in the processor, no problem. There does not any problem you will face. Whatever program you saved in the memory, it will not face any problem. That will be as it is. Okay.
স্যার যদি ধরুন আমি দুটো অ্যাডিশন করতে চাইলাম দুটো নাম্বারে, সে অ্যাডিশনের যে আউটপুটটা হলো সেটাকে আমি সেভ করতে চাইছি, তাহলে এই সেভটা কি ডাইরেক্ট আউটপুট থেকে মেমোরিতে হবে নাকি আউটপুটটা মাইক্রোপ্রসেসরে ভায়া হয়ে মেমোরিতে ঢুকবে?
So the output means actually you have to know whenever a operation is performed, a result is produced. Where result is produced? Inside the processor. I have not told you today. I have to explain it gradually. It will be result will be produced inside the processor. My question is, a result means what is that? A binary data, because it is a digital device. So a binary result is produced inside the processor. Is it having a meaning? It is produced. Where it is? I ask you where this result is there. Definitely inside a. That's why some registers are there inside the processor. Inside a register, that result will be stored. Okay. And from that register inside the processor, where the result is stored, that result you can move anywhere. You may shift it to a display device. You may store it into the memory, external memory device. Anything you can do. Okay. A result is produced where? Inside the microprocessor. That is, we are talking in the upper level. We are talking that result is produced inside the microprocessor. No meaning. Because we have to know more details you have to know. It is produced, but it is a binary information. Where it is produced, where it is stored, that also you have to know. That we will explain. That whenever a result is produced after any operation inside the processor, definitely it will be stored inside a register inside it. Okay. From that register result, you can move it or transfer it to a memory device, or you may transfer it to a output device. We will explain definitely in details. Okay.
স্যার রেজাল্টটা যদি স্টোর করতে ভুলে গেলাম তাহলে কি ওটা হারিয়ে যাবে?
No, it will be there inside that register inside the processor chip. Because the result is produced and saved inside a processor in a particular register that is there. Now it is your task whether you will move it to some display device or external memory. That is your task. But remember, if you forget it to move, and again a new program you have executed with the same microprocessor, definitely your previous result will be lost. Because you have executed some other program. Okay.
স্যার যদি রেজাল্টটা একবার মানে ডিসপ্লে ডিভাইসে মানে শিফট হয়ে যায় তাহলে কি রেজাল্টটাকে আমি আর সেভ করতে পারবো না?
So why not? It is there. So that mechanism we will explain. It is there inside the register. It will be there. But in majority
মানে
you
স্যার
have
বলতে চাইছি রেজাল্টটা যদি স্যার ডিসপ্লে ডিভাইসে চলে গেল তখন রেজাল্টটা কি মাইক্রোপ্রসেসর থেকে ডিলিট হয়ে যাবে নাকি
থাকবে, not it will not be deleted. It will be there inside the processor's register.
তাহলে স্যার মাইক্রোপ্রসেসর থেকে কখন ডিলিট হবে রেজাল্টটা?
If you suppose that I will actually explain later on. You are asking all this question again. Suppose inside a register a data is there, your result is stored. It will be stored till the power supply is there. It will be there. But whenever you suppose I have a register inside it, I have stored 2 file. It will be 2 file. Till power supply is there, it will be 2 file. But inside the same register, suppose I have stored a new data 30. What happens to 2 file? Inside the same register, suppose I store a new data 30. My question is, what happens to this old data 25? It will be deleted. In that case, it will be deleted. That means, if you store a new data to the same register, your old data will be deleted. In that case, data will be lost. Okay.
স্যার মানে হলো যে আমি মার্কেট থেকে একটা নতুন
Okay, sir.
মাইক্রো প্রসেসর কিনলাম আর ওর মধ্যে রেজিস্টারে কোনো ডেটা ছিল না, আমি একদিন অ্যাডিশন করলাম আর 5 আর 2 এর সামটা আমি ওখানে রেজিস্টারে স্টোর করলাম। তো যখন অবধি আমি নতুন প্রোগ্রাম দিচ্ছি তখন অবধি কি আমার মাইক্রো প্রসেসরে এ রেজিস্টারের মধ্যে বা বি সি ডি এফ যার যদি রেজিস্টার থাকে তার মধ্যে কি অলরেডি প্রেজেন্ট থাকবে ডেটা, নাকি ওটা উড়ে যাবে স্যার?
It may be different that now if you have power supply on, it will be there. That data will be there. But if you put off the power, definitely data will be lost. Or some other data, garbage value will be there.
তাহলে স্যার মানে ওটা যদি পাওয়ার সাপ্লাই অফ করে দিই তাহলে ওটা উড়ে যাবে, আর ওই টাইমে যদি আমি অন্য প্রোগ্রাম রান করি তাহলেও রিপ্লেস হয়ে যাবে।
Replace it.
স্যার এমন মেকানিজমও তো আছে, মানে আমার পাওয়ার সাপ্লাই অন আছে কিন্তু আমি চাইছি শিপ রেজিস্টার থেকে ওটা ডিলিট করে দিয়ে দেওয়া, মানে ওটা রিসেট করতে চাইছি।
That you can do.
ও
That means again try to understand whatever you want to do in the processor, you cannot do directly. You have to use a suitable instruction to do it. Because who will do it? Suppose you want to delete some data from somewhere. Can a user do it? No. It will be done by the processor. Again think, can processor delete by itself? Again the answer is no. Because processor cannot do anything by itself. Then how it will be deleted? You cannot delete. Again processor by itself cannot delete. Then how it will be deleted? It is the effort of both of you and the processor is required. Both the effort of you and processor is required. How? Your effort is you should try use a suitable instruction to delete it. You supply the instruction to the processor. Processor will execute the instruction and actually processor after executing the instruction delete the data. That is the process. It is the effort of both you and processor is required to perform an operation. Your task is to choose a suitable instruction and processor task is to execute that instruction and perform the operation, nothing else. Only this is the thing your microprocessor will do. Clear?
স্যার এটা আরেকবার বললে ভালো হতো।
Suppose you, whatever he is asking that suppose I want to asking that if I want to delete some data from a particular register, can you not do it? We do it. But the question is you cannot do it. Whatever operation will be performed, who will do it? In that system, processor, whatever processor you are using, processor will do it. Meaning is processor will delete the data from a register. But again, if I ask you, can processor delete a data from a register by itself? Answer will be no. Why no? Because processor cannot do anything by itself. Then how data will be deleted? To delete the data, you have to take the initiative. How? You choose a write a suitable instruction to delete the data. That instruction you provide to the processor. Then processor will execute the instruction of deletion and actually data from that register will be deleted by the processor. That is the process. Yes, you cannot do anything. Processor will do, but your help is also required. Why? Because processor cannot do anything without your help. It is your task to supply a suitable instruction to the processor to do this thing. So you have to provide the instruction. Okay.
স্যার মানে আমি কোড লিখবো ডেটা ঢোকানোর জন্য আর আমি কোড লিখবো ডেটা ডিলিট করার জন্য।
Everything. That is the why I am telling you from the beginning. Processor It is not an intelligent device. It cannot do by itself. Everything you have to do. Only process you have to do means you have to do means you will actually not do, but you will mention how to do. How you will mention how to do? By writing program. You are writing a program. What does it mean? Program means you are explaining the processor how processor should do this one. Remember, you are writing a program for what purpose? To do something. But the thing is that you will not do. Who will do? Processor. How processor will do without knowing it? It is the program, whatever you are writing. This program is basically telling the processor that you do this in that way so that that particular operation will be performed. That is the meaning of writing program. Program means you are explaining the processor. Processor do not know anything. You are explaining the processor how to do. How you are explaining? By writing a program. Okay. Okay, please go through this first 1-2 chapters. Whatever I told you, I will share the presentation and any other material. And next class probably I will take within 2-3 days. I will tell you. So please go through the material book of Navkar. And if any questions, you put it in the classroom or you can mail it directly. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.